This is the beginning of a test that we're doing in our garden area. If you saw one of our previous videos, we mentioned that we were going to be planting some plants in side-by-side planters that were built exactly the same size, exactly the same soil type. And so we've begun that now, and wanted to do a beginning video on this so you can see the beginnings. We had a very bad storm last night. And so that I want to talk about that in just a minute. But if for those of you who understand plants, you're now looking at spinach over in the corner, some asparagus. There's some beets in the middle, some more asparagus, some beets, and some asparagus. Now we've got another plant right here of beets, and I'm going to go around here to show you the other one. This one was also planted outside the pyramid. We had a very bad storm last night. And what's interesting is that one of the things that the Russian research has tended to prove is that these pyramids tend to make violent storm activity leave the area. Well, I don't know how large that area is. Maybe we'll test that someday. But if you look at these two plants here, you got to notice that they got pummeled extremely hard in the storm last night, whereas all of the plants inside the pyramid look quite healthy, to be honest. Now I want to show you the comparable plants in the secondary planter box that we have. Here we have a row of beets, have some asparagus growing over there on the far side, and some spinach growing over here. We're going to keep track of this over a period of time. We'll be coming back periodically to show you some interim results. Hope you enjoy this video as it goes on over time. Have a good day. Well, this is a week 1 update on our pyramid project. We're looking at the planter box that we planted a week ago with a variety of different plants. And as you can see, the ones inside the pyramid, and also those planted on this side and also on the other side, although it's hard to see, are actually doing relatively well, and I'm going to explain that in a minute. But if you look at the one to the right, and also the one on the left is doing a little bit better. But we were just watching a video last night from the Alicia Center of Wellbeing out of Canada, where she explained we're looking to magnetic north right now. And apparently the energy, according to her video, is better on the north outside of the pyramid on the north-south axis than it is on the east-west. And that may explain why that one and this one are not doing quite as well. But the stuff inside the pyramid is clearly looking great. Now we're going to go over quickly and also look at the plants that we put out in the second planter box, which is comprised of the same soil right next to it, obviously. And you can see the plants just aren't doing quite as well, even after 1 week. So we're going to keep doing this probably once a week, but I think we're in for some interesting results, because already we're starting to see that there's a difference between those in the pyramid and those in this planter. Hi, this is week 2 of our experiment with the pyramid. We're checking out after 2 weeks to see how the plants are doing. Showing you right now all of the plants inside the pyramid. You'll see that they're all have grown quite a bit over the last week. Even those outside the pyramid look great. Really an amazing response You can see how big some of these plants have gotten in the last 2 weeks. Amazing. So we're going to go over now and look at the progress for the other plants, see how they're doing. You'll see here the three spinach plants aren't doing anywhere near as well as the ones that were planted inside the pyramid. Here we have some of the beets that were planted. You can see they're nowhere near as large as well. None of this is doing as well as those that were planted inside the pyramid. You can see there are some pretty large bug bites there. We're not putting any pesticides or anything other than letting the pyramid naturally keep the bugs out. But you'll see these are looking pretty scrawny compared to the ones underneath the pyramid. So obviously some improvement, even more pronounced than last week. Can't wait to check it out again next week and show the results then. Good day. This is week 3 of the experiment that we're conducting with the 2 planter boxes with identical plants planted in the same soil at the same time under the same conditions. Only difference being the pyramid that you see in front of you now. If you look at the plants, it's just becoming a no contest at this point. I'm going to show you group by group. The dark colored plants are beets, and look at how beautiful those plants are. This is 3 weeks and they look like they're almost ready to harvest. Now I'm going to show you the beets over here in the control planter box. 2 of them are sick, and the other 2 haven't grown anywhere nearly as much as the ones under the pyramid. Look at how big and lush those are. Now we're going to look at the spinach. Look at those spinach plants there. They're growing very nicely. And now I'm going to take you over to the 3 spinach plants that are being grown in the control group. Look at that. They're tiny. They barely seem to have grown since we first started this experiment. We're going to go back again and look at the other spinach again. There you go. You see how much bigger those are. This is a no contest, but wanted to show you this is truly an incredible experiment. Look at how beautiful all of these plants in the pyramid box are, and yet with the exception of these plants over here, which seem to be doing more or less as well as the ones under the planter box, the other 2 varieties are just going to town relative to the control group. Clearly the pyramid is supplying energy that at least 2 of these plant groups are in desperate need of. That is not in the soil over in the control group, despite the fact that this is all brand new potting soil, topsoil for use. So we're going to keep this going, but this is becoming an obvious winner for the pyramid. Have a good day, and we'll see you next week. All right, it's been about 3.5 weeks now since we planted under the pyramid. As you can see, everything's doing great. We're going to start harvesting now. The spinach is ready to be harvested. The leaves are actually maybe a bit too large, certainly for some who might prefer baby spinach, but we wanted to show you that is the spinach that's under the pyramid that we're ready to harvest. We're going to harvest that today or tomorrow, and we're going to compare that to the spinach over here in the next planter box. You can see much smaller. So a success for the pyramid. Obviously, if you look at the beets, which aren't ready to go yet, but those 4 as well, compared to the ones inside the pyramid here, no comparison. But anyway, we're going to be harvesting that spinach and possibly some kale as well. But we'll keep you posted. Have a good day.